Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us. We go straight into business as usual, where today we're talking all about the business of books. Now, we seek to answer the question whether paper books anyway, not paperback, are dying. So, it's been projected that within the next 25 years, the digital revolution could bring about the end of printed books. Now, the switch to ebooks and e-publishing because of a digital revolution may possibly not emancipate writers or necessarily open up a new era of creativity. However, many speculate that it may mean that writers may have to offer their work for next to nothing or even for free at times. And is there a possibility that writing as a profession may cease to exist? Well, we're asking that question today. So to discuss this reality and to discuss some of the projections and the many e-possibilities, we're joined by Tobi Eyinade, the co-founder of Roving Heights bookstore. Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. I don't think we can have this conversation without first discussing why you love books. You must love books to be a founder of a bookstore.
Yes,
so let's first understand why it is that people love books.
I mean, it's fascinating. There's so many reasons there. Books are like an opportunity for you to transport from your present physical space to somewhere else, and affords you so many opportunities to discover new words, culture, learn about new things, and it's amazing what you get to find out when you pick up a book to read. So, I mean, I've been fascinated about books for as long as I can remember,
And what would you say is the difference in experiences between reading a book and reading off of a Kindle or off an iPad? Or, there's so many devices now that you can read from. Your personal, opinion. What's the difference in those experiences?
Okay, you called me old-fashioned, but I love the feel of paper. I feel there's something very emotive about them. It's real, it's easy for you to feel unlike what you get to experience when you are holding a Kindle or experiencing like the e-version, because the words just sort of like fly at you. You don't have to be bothered about whether your device is going to die at one point or the other, or the lights that actually reflects in your eyes in the process of reading like a mobile device and all. So physical books, I love what they do to me. I love how I can actually sort of like experience, and it's a unique way to sort of like connect with, the characters, the author, and it's more personal for me,
So, I relate to you, but there is some research that's showing some shifting in consumer buying habits when it comes to consuming books. What effect, or has it had any effect at all on your business, for example, if we compare your business when you started and now? Are you seeing any shift in consumer habits for this market?
Oh, yes. Truth be told, there's been various projections from time. I remember we did this sometime in 2015. It was said that in the next 5 years, before 2020, which we're in right now, people are probably not going to be reading.
So many prophets of doom. Then books will be gone. Paper books will be gone.
Of course, but guess what? You're still here, and a lot of people still decide to, buy paper book instead of ebooks. But here's the thing: the fact that the future of everything is digital and sort of like comes to become some form of competition and taking a large chunk of the market share. So, of course, I personally feel that it's going to be a place of both formats of books playing complementary roles, sort of. So it's not as if because they are ebooks, hard copy books are going to be gone. No, they're still going to be here. But it sort of like affords readers various options. So whether you're someone who enjoys audiobook, you're one who is for ebooks, you get to like pick whatever works for you, basically.
Well, as somebody who's in the industry, you sell books. How are you adapting to these shifts? How are you continuing to ensure that your business will be viable in the next 5 years? I'm sure they're going to tell us in the next 5 years we'll be reading books off, out of thin air or whatever, it's projected from somewhere. So, how do you evolve, this business that's looked at as a traditional, like you said, possibly some people may call it old school. I don't subscribe to that, but how does it become relevant to your millennials, to your Gen Zs, who are focusing all their attention on their gadgets?
So truth be told, it keeps me on my toes. It's a sort of concern and sleepless nights sometimes, and it's helped us at my business to sort of like think inwards and look within us, because we find out that, because at the core of what we do is to ensure that people are actually reading better. Like we want to improve the reading culture in this part of the world, and the best way for you to do that is to be able to catch people across various demographics. Find out that Generation Z are hooked more on digital devices, and also we are launching like into the digital space pretty soon. So our platform is going to be like a one-stop place where you can actually shop all formats of books. Right now we're concentrated on hard copy books, but as in a few months from now we're going to be going audio and ebook as well. So people have various options.
People have various options. So, you know, ultimately, what does that say about hard books, excuse me? You know, because as much as we're holding on to them, what does it say about the future? The future seems a little bit bleak at the moment.
I totally agree with you, but they are still not going anywhere. The mere fact that for a while now, several projections have been made about them, and they still seem to linger, and there's statistics to back this up. According to an annual report that was made by Association of American Publishers, physical books still did way better than ebook in 2019. I think it was like around $22.6 billion to 2.6 billion. So the margin is really huge. So that says a lot. And I guess what it's actually, it's sort of like an errant call for bookstores or people who are vested in them, what's in them, physical book or hard copy books, to begin to look inwards and find more innovative ways to actually get hard copy books into the hands of people, leverage more digital platform, use e-commerce, social media like we do. And
I saw we were advertising we showed some images of your book club. You know, do you have a lot of people walking in with their tablet? Because I mean, I think book club, and you know, I think about bending the book, highlighting, folding, exactly,
you know, the whole feel and all. Yeah, so people walk in. A lot of people still love the physical experience. So we started online. But as time went on, we found out that we can't trade the place of people having that experience. So half the time when people go on an online platform, they probably come fixed on getting a particular book. But guess what? When you walk into a bookstore, you sort of like see like a wide range of books, and you end up cutting away beyond just one book you came for, with maybe like a haul and all. So again,
so it's the experience
the experience really counts for many.
And you know, just also looking at the statistics, I understand that massive, almost 20-something billion dollar difference between the print and the digital publishing in the United States last year. Nigeria, you know, what do those numbers look like? Especially because you know, there's so much what is it called again? You see so many of the fake copies of the books being sold on the street. Exactly, piracy. So, you know, what is the viable option for a Nigerian writer at the end of the day? Because it almost seems as though the environment is forcing people to put their work on a digital platform where they can easily monitor and monetize, as opposed to print, and then before you know it, you're seeing your book in traffic and you're like, oh wow, you know. So what do those statistics look like for Nigeria specifically?
I think whether you have your book on digital platform or you have the hard copy available, it doesn't exempt you. Guess what? I am very aware that so many ebooks fly around on social media
on
platforms.
WhatsApp. You get the PDF on your WhatsApp
formats, and you know, and it's the same experience you get when you drive in traffic and you see like a book. I guess it's like a clarion call to have major stakeholders begin to, you know, look into finding ways to resolve this. I know personally, we've tried our best. I mean, there are some major e-commerce platforms that we know that stock pirated books, and we've called them out on search, and they try to put 1 or 2 measures in place to ensure quality assurance. Beyond that as well, I also feel it's a call for authors to also like up their game in terms of marketing and promotional effort, and to also find more ways than one to ensure even distribution of their books, because half the time those are major issues that a lot of people experience. You might find someone in Zamfara who wants a book and doesn't even know where to get it from and all. So you probably want to leverage various means to ensure that everybody, wherever they are, irrespective of what part of the town they are in, can actually access your books. So.
All right, incredible. So Roving Heights, what does 2020 look like for you? I know you've already mentioned more of a digital presence. What are some more of the efforts you'll be making this year?
Oh, exciting times.
Yeah.
This year we're looking to focus on some interesting genres that we've not been known for before now. I feel like there's a particular demographic we're missing out on, children. Half the time I found out that most people that love reading now as adults actually imbibed that particular culture or habit as a child. And then adulting can be very, very crazy, especially in a town like Lagos, especially. The times you get caught up in work, business, and all of that. So we're focusing more on children genres. We're looking at creating more platform for author-reader interaction. We did a lot of that last year, but we're going to be intensifying efforts concerning that. So there'll be a lot of more book reading, more fun stuff that make books come off as cool, and even have reluctant readers want to come on board and join the trend sort of. So
I love it. It sounds incredible, and I love the fact that the plan is to make books come off as cool, which is so important.
Definitely.
Tobi, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much.
To watch more videos just like this, make sure you subscribe right here, and of course check out more videos right here.